Sorry, that's how I'm going to start this video. Today, welcome to another episode of Rico'S Rants. I'm your host, Rico DiGiorgio. Clearly, I'm not 100% yet. My voice sounds a lot better. Before my last video, I sound like Harvey Fierstein or Firestein. Hello, children. What's going on with you? It was really bad. Like I had people commenting and writing to me and be like, "You need to take better care of yourself, dude. Like, your voice sounds terrible." So much so that, like, I went and I was texting my friend Michael, and he's like, "Dude, come over." This was a week ago. My throat was really fucked. And he's like, "Dude, come over, hang out for a little bit." I'm like, "Dude, I don't really feel well enough to do it." He's like, "Just come over, hang out with me." I said, "All right." So I went over there. And he looked at me as he opened the door. He's like, "You don't look that sick." I'm like, "Do I sound sick?" And he's like, "Oh shit, fuck." I'm gonna stop doing that voice because it's actually making my voice hurt even more. I'm aware I probably will light up a cigarette in the middle of this. So I've been sick for like a week or two, more than a week for sure. In which case I spent some time watching movies, and the last one I did was Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I saw all of the Indiana Jones movies in more or less one sitting. Like, I slept and rested. I had an intermission, but I was like, oh man, I really need to do more rants, but my throat was out of whack. My voice was more or less gone. I had to miss work. It was really that bad. And I'm very lucky with my job, where they know that if I am not able to go to work, it's that bad, because I've gone to work many times very sick, and I was like, I just can't go in. Last time I went in, I was still battling the cough. I had customers leaving because they were just like, "Are you feeling okay?" I'm like, I honestly, I don't know, because I was at the beginning of whether I was aware if I was going to be well enough to work through the day. So I tentatively texted my coworker and been like, "Do you maybe want to come and finish my shift for me?" And so I told a couple customers, like, I'm having a coworker come in for the rest of my shift. I'm like, "Okay, we'll come back then." And they just left. They're like, "We're not going to get sick," and I totally understand. So, like I said, I've had some time to percolate and sort of relax my throat. And I really shouldn't even do a video because I can feel it already coming on my voice. But I was really fucking aggravated today. In order to make myself feel a bit better, I like to spoil myself with some takeout food. And I got some Chinese food from a place I never ordered from, and I will not mention who it is, because I will bitch about a place, but I will not try and ruin them. But I will say this fucking place did not follow directions very well, meaning they did not listen to the instructions. I despise bell peppers, and I requested, please make sure there's no bell peppers in any of the entrees, and just full of bell peppers. And I called up the guy, and I'm like, "Look, this is not okay, man. Like, I'm not allergic, but what if I was?" And I specifically requested not, and then I went back to the dish, and it looks like whoever had delivered it was just stacked everything, so it smushed the bottom one. So all this sauce is just all over my counter now. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I really got my blood boiling. And then on top of that, I was trying to put on some movies, and for some reason my dad's DVD player was not working properly. So I was just getting fucking, like, bent out of shape. I was texting people and being like, "I am so pissed right now. I think I'm going to go do a rant and unwind and let all this energy out." And then I just tried doing a first take of this video, and Dino fucking jumped in the frame and started attacking me, and I'm just like, "I don't have time for your shit, cat! Fuck!" So, well, that being said, I'm going to do an episode of Rico's Rants on Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Because clearly I have too much free time, and I'm going to drink some fucking vitamin C. Hang on. Ugh. Okay. So, here's the thing. Indiana Jones movies are ranked, in my opinion, I'm ranking it 3, 1, 2, and then 4. That's my personal favorite. Now, we're getting on to 2. First off, number 2, Temple of Doom, should really be number 1, because it's actually a prequel. Believe it or not, Raiders of the Lost Ark, which I believe is set in 38, I want to double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's 38. Temple of Doom is set in 36. Like, it's a full 2 years before Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like, you watch Raiders of the Lost Ark thinking, this guy clearly has had some adventures, but very minor adventures. Very, like what we saw in the opening of Indiana Jones The Last Crusade, number 3. Like, little, very small adventures, and, you know, like the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles series, which we won't fucking ever go into. But, like, you didn't think it was going to be something huge. And that's sort of how I felt like watching Temple of Doom. Like, kind of like Lucas and Spielberg just sort of threw one into us, because it's like, Raiders of the Lost Ark just seems more insignificant as a big, grand adventure when you realize he already had a big, grand adventure already. That's just my take. Now, I didn't hate Temple of Doom. To me, it's... When I first saw it when I was a kid, I was very fucking scared of it. So much so that it took me a lot of courage to rewatch it when I was about maybe 13 to 15. I don't remember when I was, but I remember... Like, you know what scene I'm talking about in Temple of Doom. And again, spoilers, just like in most of my videos, there's going to be spoilers. Not just for this video, but for also the other Indiana Jones movies. So, quick little rundown. I'm laughing because I'm getting all these notifications from people that are like responding to the... I sent people the first take video, and they're finding it funny. And now I need a cigarette, so we'll just do that. I'm gonna just cough this whole fucking video. Sorry, guys. Anyways, it's set in India, but it's in the beginning. It's set in Shanghai, and Indiana Jones, or Dr. Jones, as he mentioned in the beginning, is he meets up a fucking Chinese gangster who poisons him, and then there's this whole big thing at this club, like this show club called Hi Dino, you fucking asshole. You here to get that moth finally? I can't ruin this take, dude, so just get it. Just get it! Get that! Get that fucking moth, you fucking moth! Why are you ruining my takes, guys? Both of you. I should just lock you the fuck out. This is what I'm left with, guys. This is what I have to deal with. Do you fucking eat it already? Everything's just aggravating me. Oh my fuck. Alright. Anyways. I know as soon as I start talking, he's going to jump into frame again. Don't knock over the lamp! You fucking ass! Do you know, look, it's right here. Well, this is one for the books, right, guys? That being said, Indy gets poisoned, and he's got a club called Club Obi-Wan, because clearly George Lucas just loves referencing his own shit. You know, and I mean, why not? Obi-Wan sounds like it could be Cantonese or Mandarin or whatever. Dino, I swear to God, if you knock over this fucking lamp, I'm going to flip out. Get out of here. Go. Psst. Fucking cat. God. Sorry. Alright. Let me just fucking go through this one more time. 3 main characters. Indy. Willie Scott. And then Short Round, little fucking Chinese boy that even if you've never seen Temple of Doom, like I have a friend who's never seen any of the Indiana Jones movies, he knows Okie dokie, Dr. Jones, or no time for love, Dr. Jones, because he watches Family Guy, and Family Guy fucking references everything. So that's Short Round. The Short Round's a little Chinese kid who's just like, yell. It's good banter between a young kid and Indy, which is something that we hadn't seen. We'd seen Indy, sort of the closest we'd seen with him having like a sort of childish argument was him and Marion. Until we get to fucking episode 3, when it's really like the whole movie is just him and Sean Connery just arguing throughout the entire film, which is, again, my favorite part. I'm already so disappointed with this video. It's funny, but we'll get through this. I have to get through this. At this point, it's too funny to not continue. I hope. So, during their escape, and they fucking escape with Dan Aykroyd's help. It took me years to realize that you don't see him in full profile. You don't see his face. You hear his voice, and it's a shitty British accent. But they escape on an airplane through Dan Aykroyd, and I was like, God, that sounds like Dan Aykroyd. Like, he's got that really kind of voice. It's almost like Edward G. Robinson almost on slight helium. Meh! Fuck. Oh, my voice is going to be raw after this. So they end up in India. I won't specify how. I won't go over every detail. I'm not that detail oriented. They end up in India, and there's a village which is starving, and all their crops are gone. It's a giant desert wasteland, and they're all starving, and they look sick, and all the children are gone. So there's just literally no life and happiness. Although they still try and, because they have these three these newcomers and guests, they try to please them, and they all smiles, and they give them food they don't really have. And Willie, played by Kate Capshaw, is just the most privileged, fucking, like, arrogant, bratty little fuck. In most movies I've ever seen, she is probably one of the most top-notch, obnoxious, like, oh my fuck. Like, you don't want anything bad to happen to her. You just want her to shut the fuck up. Nothing to do with really the actress. It's just the character itself just sucks. Especially compared to Marion in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders of the Lost Ark has a very strong, defiant, ball-busty, feminist woman. And then we get, like, literally the screaming blonde who's just, I broke a nail! Yeah! Like, that type of shit. And I get it. It kind of goes well with Indy's sort of rugged, working class type of, like, guy. But Jesus Christ. I mean, I read that she actually had to be taught how to scream. I want to fire who taught her how to scream, because she did it so perfectly. At one point I was just like, oh my fuck, shut up, Willie. No, even so far that there's a Lego Indiana Jones video game. Willie's character, and I know this because I'm a fucking geek, Willie's character, her special power is to scream really loudly. And that's all she does. She runs, she jumps, but she screams. That's her, her thing is to shatter glass to find unlockable shit. That's it. Anyways, so the reason why the kids are gone and the village is all fucked is they have these sacred... Everyone's fucked with me today. They have all these sacred stones, like, just... I forget the backstory of it, but blah, blah, blah. Sacred, magical fucking stones, and they got stolen. So, despite Indiana Jones and crew wanting to... they don't really want to do this, he feels compelled and sort of guilted into trying to get the stones and maybe the children. Makes his way to... Pancot, I think, Pancot Palace, which has a prince and has a royal thing, and the government's involved and shit like that. And they go and they're sort of greeted, not friendly, but certainly like, yes, you can stay with us. We don't like that you're here, but you can fucking chill and eat and everything. And one of the interesting highlights, and I say that highlights, was there's this dinner scene where clearly afterwards Lucasfilm and Spielberg and Paramount got in a lot of trouble for portraying the Indian culture as just being savage and eating the most disgusting fucking food. I've had Indian food. I've never seen snakes or fucking bugs or monkey brains. They may very well do that in some fucking parts of the world, but it was just for shock value, and it certainly fucking shocked me when I was a kid. I mean, they bring out this entree. It's a fucking dead snake, and I still don't know whether when they cut it open, if it's baby snakes that is the entree, where they're just picking them up and just slithering them down their fucking gullet, or if it's intestines. I don't know. I think it's baby snakes that are just still, they look like fucking eels, so it's never really specified. Let me know if you fucking know. Then it's beetles, they take off the shells and slurp up the guts, and Willie at one point just like grossed out and about to vomit requests, like, do you have anything simple like soup? They bring soup and she stirs it up and it's fucking eyeballs just like it float, and she and Short Round are both just rolling their fucking eyes, pun intended. Then they bring out the dessert, and it's chilled monkey brains with a fucking monkey's head. They pop the lid off the head and just eating fucking, like, what? So I remember watching this as a kid and being like, this is really dark. And Raiders of the Lost Ark was really dark. Like, it dealt with Nazis and people fucking, their heads exploding and melting and fucking Hitler and shit like that. And fucking dark movie. But Lucas, I fucking read this and they never really, like, it's very obvious what inspired what. Lucas was going through a bad divorce at the time, so he just went full on dark. Like, he's like, yeah, you know, I'm not happy with my, George Lucas kind of sounds like Kermit the Frog, so that's my attempt at doing a George Lucas impression. Yeah, I'm really not happy with you know, my marriage, so I'm just, you know, gonna make everything dark. Just like Empire Strikes Back, but way worse. So, it sounds like Ray Romano too. Come on, I know! So, God, my throat's gonna be fucked after this. So, they fucking, one guy tries to kill Indy, after dinner, and then he finds a hidden room, and, you know, fucking Short Round and blah blah blah, they sort of go in, they find there is a thuggy cult, which the thuggies were like around 1,000 years ago and were stopped, and then they sort of been slowly kind of coming back, but in secret, and they have these really fucking dark rituals, and they steal the stones and they steal all the kids, and I can't remember who the main thuggy guy is. It's like Mon something, Mola Ram. He's this really intense, creepy fucking guy, wild-eyed and big grin, and his shaved head. I mean, the actor who played him never shaved his head, but he shaved his head for this role. And ever since then, he just kept his head shaved because it was like, he knew that scared the shit out of people. He's got this big, you know, sort of hat that just like is horns, and there's a scene where they bring in this guy, and for whatever ritual for their god, he has him strapped to a cage and lowered into a pit. But before he does that, he fucking reaches in, pulls out this fucking guy's beating heart, and his flesh heals over with no heart, and it's just boom, 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 and he's still chanting, and the cage was lowered into fucking lava or something, and then the heart just bursts in a flame, and he's cackling, and what the fuck? I remember seeing that when I was a kid, and this is what the main part of the video I really want to talk about. This movie, not a horror film, but this movie scarred me when I was a little kid. I mean, I saw that one scene when I was like 7, and I had nightmares. And I still have this reoccurring nightmare that just every so often it just pops in my head when I'm just trying to sleep. And the nightmare is this. Inspired by the Temple of Doom, I have 2 cages, and there is 2 people that are part of my life, and I have to choose who gets dipped in the lava and who gets to walk free. And it will range from my 2 closest friends to my 2 brothers to my mother and my father. It'll go very personal, but it'll also go the most retarded fucking, like, one person I babysat when I was very young, barely knew, and then like a relative's relative through marriage that I know but don't know well. So it'd be like the most intimate 2 people, and it'd be the most obscure, like, you know, you have to just choose. So good luck with that. And it would haunt me for years. And just saying it, waking up, because everyone got chosen. Everyone got dipped. Because that was just my subconscious. I just could not make a decision. So I said, okay, it's going to be my mother. Okay, it's going to be my dad. Okay, it's going to be this brother. It's going to be that brother. It's going to be, you know, this ex-girlfriend or that ex-girlfriend. Or it's going to, I mean, it was, and then there were many times where I would sacrifice myself and dive into the fucking pit and save them both. Really fucked nightmare. Many times I would wake up just like traumatized of sleeping. Traumatized by this fucking movie. I didn't know what to do. So, above all, this movie stuck with me on a very personal level. It's a great movie, and it's entertaining, and certainly not the weakest one of the franchise. But this one is probably the most personal, just based on the fact that it scarred me forever. Like, I had that nightmare, like 3 or 4 months ago. I don't remember who it was. Because I just remember waking up before it got serious and then forgetting about it. But I know it was like, oh shit, one of those. And I managed to sort of block it out for the most part. But yeah, it still sticks with me. And of course, the action's great. The music is still great. Just a fucking dark movie. And that whole heart-beating thing, that's clearly George Lucas being like, no, that bitch stole my heart. She ripped it out of my chest while it was still beating. Like, so in other words, if you're going to piss off your husband, or if your husband's a writer or something to do with cinema, just be aware that everything is fair game. Your relationship and your influence on that person will wind up on screen. On the opposite effect, Kate Capshaw ended up marrying Spielberg. Spielberg says the best thing he ever got from Temple of Doom was not, I got to work with Harrison Ford again, I got to make another Indiana Jones movie, I got to branch out as a filmmaker, I got to try new things, was I met my future wife. That's it. He's not exactly proud of Temple of Doom. He also, I felt, kind of was like maybe a little too rushed. Like, I think Paramount was going to maybe try and do another one without them. And he said, well, if you're going to do it without me, I'm going to come in and make sure you guys do what I want. And I guess he just had a lot of pressure. And then Lucas kept making it very dark, which Spielberg didn't necessarily want to do. And my cat is attacking me again. I love you, cat, but I'll fucking throw you out this room. Just calm your ass down. Chill. Good. Fucking surrounded by idiots. Jesus Christ. So, On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 7. On a scale of 1 to 5, it's a 3. It's very entertaining. It's very gruesome, but not gory. And easily, I could watch it again and again, but I probably shouldn't anymore. I probably should let it lie and give it a fucking break. I'm glad I rewatched all the films. It gave me new perspective on the films, especially with the fourth one. And we'll get to that. I'm not going to do a third or fourth video tonight. My throat, I can just tell, my throat's not going to be able to take it. And I need to calm the fuck down. I need to watch other movies and calm the fuck down and relax. But let me know what you guys thought. And I'm sorry for the really long introduction. And I'm sorry for just whatever the fuck this video was. But you know, these aren't exactly movie reviews. These movies are called Rico's Rants for a reason. I got so bent out of shape of, one, being bedridden, and two, not being able to talk properly. And then this fucking restaurant just fucked everything up. I'm like, I gotta fucking unwind. And then my cat wasn't helping either. I'm talking about you, cat. I'm talking about you. Alright. That being said, thanks guys for watching the video. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you thought. This is a bizarre fucking video. Love you all to death. I'm gonna go fucking take some lozenges. Bye guys. Ciao.